This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com.
Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is 10/21/22, show number 434. Did the Fed blink, Nick?
Well, it looks like they did blink a little there. Just before the opening bell, the Wall Street Journal headline hit my newswire, and it said that the Fed will raise rates 75 basis points in a November meeting, and then they're going to debate on how to slow rate hikes in the future. So that gave the market a little springboard of a bounce, rallied up. The spiders and the Dow rallied up, and now they're pulling back a little bit. But it looks like the Fed is starting to blink here a little bit. We'll see how far or how much verbiage comes out over the next few days. And again, we have a big Fed meeting on November 2nd. So that's probably going to keep the markets somewhat buoyant until that Fed announcement, I would think.
Yeah, well, I know you've called this from the get-go, higher rates, bringing it up to the 2-year, et cetera. But at some point, everything is in such flux and places, countries blowing up, probably hedge funds blowing up, derivatives blowing up. They're going to have to reverse course?
Oh, of course. Eventually, they're going to have to reverse course. Yeah, you cannot continue on this trajectory. I mean, even where they are now at 3% with the Fed funds rate there, they need to get to 4.5 minimum, probably even like 5%. So, they're way behind the 8 ball here, and they have a lot to go in order to catch up. So, they're going to probably play that card where energy prices have come down, commodity prices have come down. There's no need to go further. Obviously, they're going to say that. But what they are doing is quantitative tightening, which is the complete opposite of what they did last year with quantitative easing. They were buying $120 billion a month worth of mortgage-backed securities and U.S. Treasuries. Now they're selling $95 billion a month of mortgage-backed securities and U.S. Treasuries. So it's a different ball game. But you saw what just recently went on in the UK. Liz Truss is out after, 30, 45 days, the shortest.
Yeah, that was fast.
Oh, yeah, that was one of the quickest turnovers I've ever seen. But, again, this is telling you there's problems systemically. And, again, I think even if the Fed does reverse course, it doesn't change the big picture here.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're going to go up for a while, and then they're going to have to go down, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how it all works, So, again, this is why I have to use charts, Kerry, because I can't make heads or tails out of the story. It can change so quickly. The soap opera, it's just that. They have different characters out there, and they play different roles. So I'm going to stick with the charts. And right now, we'll see what the Fed has to say come November 2nd when they do meet and make that 75 basis point rate hike in the Fed funds rate. We'll see where they go from there. But looks like they did blink a little bit today because they would not float that out there, especially during an options expiration Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I guess they got their marching orders. Hey, looking at nat gas, we've been hugely bullish. It hit nearly $10 and the parabolic move, just like the charts are wont to do. It's retraced back to 5, which is still ahead of where it started out, which was in the $2-3 range, right? So
yes,
you're loading up on this?
I did. I bought nat gas today. I bought 2 days ago, and it's amazing to me how people love it at 10, but they hate it at 5. It's really amazing. What they don't realize is the nat gas futures chart is coming into a big 618 retrace. We also just came into a 20-period moving average. You give me those two factors of support, I will jump on it hand over fist every single time. And I did.
All right. Well, hey, I'm super bullish on nat gas for the long term for a lot of reasons. The situation in Europe, even if the war ended tomorrow, it'd be years before the energy markets settled down and got back to normal.
Well, if you just look at the fundamental backdrop, even the geopolitical backdrop, right? You got the European nations, they're probably leading the green charge. Then you have the administration here leading a green charge. These guys, they hate natural gas, they hate oil, but the world unfortunately runs on natural gas and it runs on oil. Um, this is crazy to me. So, to see nat gas get down here, I'm in the camp that this is just a midterm ploy. This is all planned. We're going to get the price of gasoline down. We're going to get the price of nat gas down. And again, what are you going to? I've lived in Europe. It's cold there already. And if you're going to try to get through the winter, you better have some natural gas working in your home.
Hey, it's cold in Florida today. It was 64 degrees when I woke up, Nick.
Yeah, a little chilly for me. I'm here too, Kerry. I will say I don't really like wearing the long pants and the coat, but I had to put it on.
All right, you got to do what you got to do. Obviously, hey, looking at gold, it's looking pretty good today.
Yeah, gold's caught a nice bid today, up about 1% as we sit here, and all in all, it was really beaten down though this week. Gold takes a pounding during Options X for whatever reason. It doesn't seem to fail. This was another Options X where gold got hammered. Silver got hammered as well. Both are rebounding up today. I will say one thing that is holding up very well in the precious metal space is platinum. Platinum is surprisingly looking very strong on the charts. That's one I've been in and out of recently for my members. And I actually like what that is doing. That's showing relative strength right now. So platinum holding up, but how I feel, Kerry. Gold's got a little bit more of a dip to do before we get the final low, and then I think it's going to be a volcano explosion to the upside.
All right, well, we can deal with that. And finally, Bitcoin. What's the deal today?
Bitcoin earlier was, kind of hanging in there fairly well. It was just up very, maybe 0.75%. Now it looks like it's gone to the negative side, only down a little over 0.1%, sitting right around that 19,000 level. I mean, like I've said, it can live to fight another day, but the bigger pattern is bearish. I think this is ultimately going sub 13,000, more likely down to 12,000. I'd be very, very careful. If you're nimble here and you could trade in and out of it, by all means, feel free. But this is not a healthy looking chart.
Not in the least. It's all red. And, it's amazing, like you say, people are rushing to buy nat gas at 10, and then they just shun it at 5. Well, they were rushing to buy Bitcoin at 67.7 at its high, and now at 19,000, nobody, it's a redheaded stepchild.
It's called the footprints of human nature. That's how things are. Everybody loves things when everybody loves them. Everybody hates things when everybody hates them. And you know what? Mankind has never been able to break that cycle. That's what differentiates a trader from everybody else. Traders, when they see things go and everybody loves them, we hate them. When we see things down and beaten up, we love it and everybody else hates it. And that's the advantage we have over the others.
So just a little anecdote about trading and traders and the discount mentality. There was a guy named Harvey Houtkin, one of the originators of day trading, had a bunch of offices around the country at its peak. He was really at the forefront. And he would always buy stuff, even if he didn't want it, just because it was cheap. And at one time there was a fancy men's clothing store. He bought like 98 pairs of men's underwear and just because it was cheap. And then the irony was he gained a bunch of weight and he couldn't fit into it anyway. But like the trader's mentality is don't, buy assets. Even Warren Buffett, I like to buy $1 worth of assets for 10 cents, right?
That's right. And if you just follow that philosophy, that will guide you pretty well. I have to say, Kerry, even to this day, if I go to the store and I want to buy a container of milk and I see the price inflated, I'll walk right past it. I that's how ingrained it becomes in your whole psyche. You just cannot pay up for anything. And if something, is low enough, you load up on it.
Yep. That's so true. I'm kind of that way myself. no greater satisfaction in my life than getting something cheap, getting it real cheap. That's why I love eBay.
That's a lot of people don't realize it, but that's how you create wealth. You don't pay up for things. You pay, you buy them when nobody likes them. And then, when everybody likes them, I want to be a good Samaritan. I say, here, take mine. You can have it. And I give it right. I sell it right to them.
So true. And, that's what separates the great traders, I think.
Well, I mean, hopefully I could do this for the rest of my life, but, I try to help people sometimes, and I say, this is why you want to watch charts. This is why you want to learn the charts. And to this very, very day, so few of the people out there that are involved in markets even have a single understanding of a chart.
Yeah, so true. I mean, I've seen it over and over again myself, and the charts are the key. In any event, that's it for today. Make sure you go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com, see how he continues to beat the averages. Check out his latest call on silver, which is downright prescient, and the Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago 01, at Kerry Lutz. Email welcome, KL@kerrylutz.com. And make sure you post some comments to the YouTube channel. We'll take a look at them. We'll put together the best ones, and we'll review them at some time in the not too distant future. Nick, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Thank you, Kerry. Have a great weekend.